Morning. We have a sunny morning here in the UK. I'm actually in London. And hello, everybody. My name is Marta. Welcome to this Q&A session we run specifically for our growing number of clients and interested people from Africa. You might have come from another country, you might come from anywhere in the world, so you might even be in the UK, but we decided we get so many questions from people based in Africa. We're just going to do one for you guys specifically because you have very, very, very good questions, and hopefully I can answer them all. So the purpose of today is it's a quick Q&A. Throw questions at me. Tell me what you need to know. My name is Marta. I'm the founder and the chief executive of Open CPD, and I have the lovely Emily joining me, who will help me manage the questions. So put your questions in the chat, and ask them when they come up. I will answer them. I can see that there are still people joining, so welcome, first of all, but also if you could put your country that you've just joined from. We usually have quite a few people from South Africa, occasionally from Kenya. I can see somebody's joining us from Ghana. So it's not just South Africa, it's anybody from somebody from the UK. Hello, welcome. It's a good drop-in session. We run these sessions every Wednesday at 10 o'clock UK time. And if you didn't get the answer here today, very, very easy. So we only, it's a short session. We can only answer so many questions. You can do lots of things. So first of all, at the end of this webinar, you will receive a copy of this recording. So you can look at it. But most importantly, Emily and I are available for questions. There is our availability, contact details, calendars. Let's have a chat if you're interested. We provide lots of materials. There's lots and lots of you can check out our YouTube channel. We talk about CPD accreditation, which is not everybody's cup of tea, but we talk about that all the time because we find it fascinating. We find it amazing. We find it amazing the sort of work that you do, the learning that you provide to communities around the world, where having a good quality, clearly identified, verifiable certificate is people's ticket to career improvement. So it's really important. So anyway, we love the subject. We talk about it a lot. You don't have to, but we're here to answer. And because we talk to a lot of people from around the world, we have customers all across the globe. We have yet to get a customer from South America, I have to say. So we haven't had one, but from everywhere else around the world, we've probably been there, done that. Ask us anything. So with that, I'm going to do a very quick explainer, and also I'm going to show you the platform very quickly, and then over to you. So while I'm doing a little bit of intro, just think about the questions, put them into the chat, and when we get to the end, Emily will read them out for me, and we can go through them. So first of all, what is Open CPD and why are we here and what do we do? Open CPD is a global accreditation, self-accreditation platform. I'm going to explain that a little bit. We actually are based in the UK, so we are, for example, this call is coming to you from London today, but that doesn't mean that we're a UK company. We're actually a global company, and we want to help lifelong learning leave a footprint. Why do we want that? The reason why we want that is because there is a huge amount of learning, excellent quality learning. In the old days, there were, somebody went to a college or course or whatever, and that was it. You finished, you put the certificate on the wall, and that was the end of your learning. The world has changed. We need to update our careers. Employers want it. Recruiters want it. People want to learn new skills. And we have a tremendous amount of knowledge available, structured as courses, events, workshops, etc. but we don't know what that was and how to provide the evidence. And this is what Open CPD does. We help you, the course provider or the learning provider, to provide the good quality, auditable, verifiable, globally accepted certificates. Okay. And basically we built a system for it. We use one of the components in the system makes your certificates unique, tamper-proof and verifiable. That happens to be blockchain technology. You don't need to worry about it. It's tame, it's not crypto. We use it. You don't have to worry about it. But that means that once you issue a certificate, that's a good record of that training, who learned what. In fact, I'm going to show you one certificate just to explain what we mean. And I should have got one of these ready, but never mind. So basically, and you say, you know, we get often asked, it's like, well, you know, but, you know, I can make one of those in PowerPoint. Absolutely. You can make the first one or the first page in PowerPoint. It's wonderful. So now you're a recruiter, somebody, and, you know, turns up and said, they've done some business networking training. Do you know what they have done? How long was it? How complex was it? Who provided, you know, maybe the company name. The company name is Aeoli. Wonderful. Do you know who Aeoli are? Not really, because it's a small company, a small training provider. So as a small training provider yourself, you want to make sure that the certificate speaks for you. Okay. And most importantly, for the trainee and the training you provided. So our certificates typically have 5 pages. Sometimes they have more. Into the certificate, we incorporate the training details. I'll mention that a little bit more about that. I'm not going to show you the platform here today. If you want to have a demo, book in with us or watch. We got quite a few videos on that. But the important thing is you will be creating these, your control. We're not going to tell you how to do this. We're going to help you to get it right. But anyway, so in terms of events, workshops, training courses, etc., they all have learning aims. Okay, this is why this is part of lifelong learning, continued professional development. So you have learning aims, and obviously in that learning aim, learning session, you transfer some skills. So the skills need to be identified, and you will have achieved some outcomes. So hopefully at the end of the training, that trainee can do things that they couldn't do before. They can assess somebody for their, I don't know, physical health or capabilities, or they can run macros and on a tech platform, or they can help you with your cybersecurity. The outcome is what they have taken away from that course. What can they do all by themselves or under supervision? When we issue the certificates, every one of them is unique. So you will see a certificate ID here. So once it's issued, this is the footprint that it leaves. It will be traceable back. This is how it's auditable and verifiable, because your details as training providers will also be incorporated in the certificate. Because if you think about this, people might, you know, you're a great company, but, you know, suddenly you provide great training in South Africa, and the person wants to now apply for a job in, I don't know, Botswana or Kenya or whatever. They're not going to know you. In fact, they know very little about other countries or whatever. It's not very, on the one hand, it's very fluid, but the regulator isn't, or the regulation isn't. So it's really important to say that, you know, Marta learned how to do Python 101. Okay, who taught Marta Python 101? Well, this is the people, this is you, this is your details, and again, your social media, your phone number, your WhatsApp. If they want to find you, they can find you. We have a little bit about the candidates or the attendees. Sometimes people incorporate things like personal identification. So, for example, if the person needs to have their passport checked, you can put their passport number just to make sure it is the same person. Sometimes you don't. If you do some marketing training, you probably don't need to do the identification. If you do some like cybersecurity training, maybe you do. So again, you know, this is what we know about the candidate. And we have a page where we explain how the verification works. So the idea of Open CPD is we built a system, a platform, self-service, you create your courses, aim, skills, and outcomes. You don't need to send us your material. We help you if you don't know how to do it. But you've done a few, you will be able to do that. And then you identify aim, skills, and outcomes and issue your own certificates. And we make it really simple. It can be done individually. It can be done via an upload, so we can generate thousands in a single transaction. The important thing is, because we built it once, you don't have to. It's fast, it's flexible, and it's very cost effective. So enough about me talking. Over to you and your questions. Emily, do we have questions coming in?
Hello. Yeah, we've got 5 really good questions actually. I'll just ping them over. So the first one is CPD something clients or learners in Africa really care about?
Oh, that's a good question, because CPD is very much a British term. So I tell you what they will care about is auditable, verifiable certificates. So whether you use the word CPD, and for example, in the US, they often use it as CPE, so continuous professional education. CPD stands for continued professional development. So whether they're going to care about those words, I don't know. What they will care about, and again, we give you help on how to put it into your marketing, because obviously you want your training to be standing out from the crowd, making it better and more evidence-based than anything else. So we give you a little bit of support. You get your own certificate of CPD membership, which explains the standards that you are signing up to. Whether that works, I think the only thing that I can say is, as I said, it's a British term. It's an increasingly used global term. But if it doesn't work for you, you don't have to call it CPD certificate. You can call it just your own certificate. So I hope that answers the question. But the other thing is, the nice thing, if you put only 3 words, it translates across border, because if anybody understands anything, then they will know it's about continuous professional development.
Yeah, that's very true. So the next one is, can I use Open CPD for short courses, in-person workshops or coaching?
Yes, you can. So the whole thing about lifelong learning is that it has a huge variety of where it happens and how it happens. We do a whole range in our system. We have, we'd identify, I think, for example, this one that I just showed you, it will say somewhere this was actually an online event. So in the details of the learning course or learning event, you will say how it was delivered. Maybe it was one-to-one coaching. Maybe I think particularly relevant in some of the and we have some excellent models on this, is recognition of prior learning. So it's a big thing in some of our clients use it in, I think, in South Africa, and we have a pilot running on Uganda, specifically assessing and recognizing prior learning. Marta learned to be a good, carer. Where did she learn it? We don't know, but she can do it now, and we can recognize it. So short or long, up to you. We can do all of them.
Okay. So the next one is Open CPD my learners abroad?
I think I got frozen, or you got frozen. Could you say?
Oh, sorry. Is Open CPD recognised internationally, and will it help my learners abroad?
Okay. So first of all, the format is recognised everywhere. Does it mean that if you issue a certificate on something, it's automatically going to be open doors in another country? Certainly not. But what it will do is make sure when the door is open or how it is opened, because we don't have a magic bullet, okay? What we do know is that you will be providing the best possible evidence of your training. So sometimes I get asked about if somebody comes in with sort of nursing training certificate issued in a country, is it going to be accepted in the UK? The short answer is not on its own. because there are bits of training that are regulated, and they will be regulated in that country. But in order to assess whether your training is part of that body of learning that you needed, it will be really, really helpful. Now, a vast majority of lifelong learning isn't regulated, isn't controlled. So that's what, for example, what we do have excellent models for is people. We have a partner in a learning organization called Rita Africa. They're based in Ghana. They provide things like cybersecurity training, the development, Python, all of that. They are loving Open CPD because suddenly you can pick up somebody. Everybody knows what they got trained on. If it says Python 101 and it just said these are the skills, and I don't know what the skills are because I don't do Python, but you can go anywhere in literally anywhere, and everybody will know what you learned about Python, okay? And everybody will know that you learned it from Rita Africa. So it's not a magic bullet. It's not going to suddenly open doors that wouldn't normally open. But when it needs to provide the evidence of who learned what, it is absolutely cross-border. It is absolutely accepted, and recruiters and employers really appreciate it.
Okay, so this person says that they're just starting out, and do I need a big setup or LMS to use this?
Yes, there are many LMSs. It depends on what. Some are cheap, some are expensive, some are big, some are small. We don't know. Okay, it's your training. You decide how you deliver it. Every now and then we get asked about learning management systems. There are just so many. We just don't know. Okay, so what we focus on is what we're good at. Is you doing the certificates. Now, do you need a big system? No, because we actually have packages that support people just starting out. You don't need a big outlay. Our opening the basic package is £50. So we charge in UK pounds. £50 is about $70. For that, you get, so for every time you buy something in Open CPD, you get credits. So for £50, you get 25 credits, which means that every certificate you issue will use up one of those credits. It means that a certificate will cost £2. Now, the more you use it, the cheaper it gets, because you kind of, we've got packages because people want to do not one, not 25, they want to do hundreds and thousands. But to get started, you literally can get started at £50. You get to use the system, you get our support, and you will be issuing those certificates. And if you run out because you suddenly did 25 and suddenly think, oh, okay, people want to come along to my training again, you just buy another pack. So we start easy and simple and cheap, and then if you want to go on to subscription, obviously it gets cheaper per certificate.
Very flexible. So the last one here is, how do I explain to my learners or clients that my training is Open CPD accredited? Okay,
so please don't say that you're Open CPD accredited, because you're not. Okay, you are actually accrediting yourself technically, and we explain that both in our terms and conditions and anywhere you want. However, because it's very important to understand that we advise on how to set up your training and how to get the most out of the Open CPD platform, but we cannot and will not check your content. Okay, it's really important to understand that. And people say, but why don't you? Because we can't, because you're the subject matter expert. I don't know about Python. I don't, I don't know about so many things that people issue certificates on, and they are the subject matter experts, so they know what they're talking about. The important thing is they need to, and that's the fundamental bit, is they need to have good, clearly identifiable aims, skills, and outcomes. Sometimes it's a bit of a conversation to tease them out, and that we help. But your training is accreditable, CPDable, if you have aim, skills, and outcomes. and we publish them. So we give you the tools. So don't say that you are accredited by Open CPD. We actually say you either say we're powered by Open CPD or via Open CPD, because you will be actually technically practicing self-accreditation. If you need to be comfortable with it. Trust me, it works. It works. It works a treat. But we can provide lots of evidence, lots of case studies. You can talk to us, and we can explain how it works specifically. And one final thing, Open CPD is so there are countries that regulate a lot, and there are countries that regulate very little. And navigating this is a minefield. Okay. The one thing that every country wants is a system where you can say who got what certificate for why, what they got taught, you know, how can you make sure that they didn't just kind of, you know, you send them a nice PDF certificate and they didn't actually edit them. It's quite easy to do nowadays. So even if you're in the regulated space, we give you the tools to make it simple, auditable, verifiable, and tamper-proof. Okay, so even if, for example, in South Africa, the HBCSA, you need to register them, they will check for certain things, not for everything, but if you need to do that, you need to do that. But somewhere in there, you need an auditable system, and Open CPD is that system. So even if you're not accredited, you need an external accreditation, you can still use us. But for most things, you know, just use us.
Okay. That's it for the questions, I think. If anyone else has got any more, but that's all that's there.
Oh, those were excellent questions. I wish I had those questions at every session. And in a way, we're kind of running out of time anyway. So thank you very much for joining. If you need anything, you will see our contact details. If you want to have a chat, reach out, book a meeting with us, watch our videos, and more importantly, come and sign up. We love to support you on the platform.